So in this particular chapter or particular puzzle, we are given another button, power button. So like what we programmed in the previous video, we programmed the raised to power 2 function. Now instead of us now programming it, we've been given the function for it, just as we have the absolute function. Now we have the power function. So 8 to the power of 2 is going to give us 64. So we don't need to program it anymore. We've been given a function. So let's continue. Infiltrating, detecting pattern. Now we have 2 to 4, 3 to 9, 4 to 16, just like the way we had it in the previous video. Now we have it now, but instead of us writing the function, we are going to be using the power function now just for it. So it's going to be, you know, now previously we had only the absolute function. Now we have one more function, which is the power, POW, power, P O W. So now we have our input, then we do the comma, then we raise it to power 2. So 4 raised to power 2 is 16, 3 raised to power 2 is 9, 2 raised to power 2 is 4. So you see our arc is successful. So raised to power 2. So we've been given the function power, or the power function. So now we're in another puzzle. So we've been given another keys for each and in. So just the way we add loop, add the while loop. Now we've been given for each again. For each is for to create a loop also, but under the condition. So for every item in input as var A, add it to var B. So what it's telling us is that, so let's say input is an array. If you don't know what an array is a set of items of similar, or values or similar stuff. How should I put an item? It's a set of similar items. So let's say an array of alphabets. So it's going to contain A to Z. An array of numbers is going to contain 0 to 9. So that is what an array is. So that is an array in a square bracket is going to contain items. So our for each is going to loop through our array. It's going to loop through our array and is going to assign each element of the array, or each item of the array, to variable A at every point in time. So the first time the for each goes into this input, is going to assign the first element to variable A. The second time it goes into it, assign the second element to variable A. The third time to variable A, like that. Then you can now add it to variable B or do whatever you want to do with it. It may sound somehow, but when we use it in practical, it may be easier. So hopefully it's easier as we move on. So the title is length. So let's continue. So you see, we've been given an array now. We've been given an array of two numbers, 3 and 4 and 8. Another one is 4, 5, 3. Another one is 6. So what are we trying to achieve here? So the title, don't forget to always look at the title. The title is length. So we've been given an array of two elements, two items, 3 and 8. This one has 4, 5, and 3. So now the output of this first one is 2. The output of this second one is 3. The output of this last one is 1. That means the total number of elements in this array is our output. Total number of elements in this array is our output. Likewise, this one too. So we can just say we are looking for the length of the array. That means you are looking for the total number of elements inside the array. When they say you are looking for the, when they say you should look for the length of an array, that means you are counting the total element inside the array and giving out the output. So I'm giving it out as output. So let's play it. So now what do we do here? We've been given for each a very beautiful function to loop through our array. So we can say, we can declare variable b as 0 if you want to make it explicit, but you don't have to declare it. I will tell you maybe in the future video why you don't have to declare it, because automatically variable b equals 0 by default, so we don't have to declare it. But to make it explicit so that someone reading our code can easily understand, we just declare it. So for each variable a in our input is 453, is an array containing 453. So what we want to do is count the total number of elements in our array. So instead of us now, okay, so what do we do now? So the first time we'll say b equals 1, the second time b plus 1, the third time b plus 1, making b equals 3. So presently now b equals 0. So what we need to do, the first time this for each goes into input, it says for each element in input, it says add 1. So what we're going to do is add 1 to b. The second time it goes into the input, add another 1 to b. The third time it goes into the input, add 1 to b. All we can just do is b plus plus. It's going to give us that function. So b plus plus is our result, because the first time we are going into it, b is 0. The first time we go into a, is going to add 1 to b. Remember, plus plus adds 1 to that element you attach it to. So the first time we go into input, we add 1 to b. The second time we go into it, we add another 1 to b, making 2. The third time we go into it, we add another 1 to b, making 3. So that is b plus plus. So let's return b. So you may be wondering, we are not using a. What happened? We are not using a because there's no need for a. A is just element inside the array. So at this point now, we are not using a because there's nothing we want to use a for. But in the future video, we are going to be using a, and it's going to be it's going to be very obvious. So let's return b. So when we return b, you see that our code passed, arc successful. So let's look at the code again. So what are we trying to do here? We assign 0 to b, or we assign b to 0. Then we loop through the input for each element in input, for each var a in input, b plus plus. So for each element inside this array, 4, 5, 6, add 1 to b. So the first time, add 1 to b. The second time, add 1 to b, making 2. The third time, add 1 to b, making 3. So if you look at the other test, we see that it also passed. So that is how we create, we count the elements in an array. Hopefully in the next puzzle, they are going to give us a function that is just going to give us the length of an array. Hopefully, I'm giving you the hint. So hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, see you in the next video.